Saturday showdown. DN Freaks versus B&K Fury.
Here, unless we're doing some really weird flexing, which I don't think is going to be the case.
Way obviously here.
Well, he is playing into Nico, so he might have something.
Renata?
Brom? Brom into Ornn always feels good. Brom into Jhin feels good.
Just a barrel classic.
That's the barrel classic. Just going to pick his Leona.
Yeah.
It really makes sense, right? The only downside I see is that the Merc's value will skyrocket, but it's not the end of the world. There is not that much AD damage towards the top side of the map, which with the Ornn might become a problem initially or eventually. I do think aiming is going to go on hit in this, try and just maximize the damage. We'll see. I think T1, if it gets too late, is going to be feeling great because
I've had a lot of classics today. Well, let's see how it's going to work here on the Rift for game number 1.
Stick into Rumble, because early on you're not going to be able to really stack that.
Yeah. Interesting choice. But if you do take a lot of trades, at least you'll be getting a decent amount of stacks, but your trades not as strong. So Barrel went in onto the Nico at level 1. And it doesn't look like they lost any XP or anything, but they're definitely going to get pushed in by this lane. That lane is definitely going to be important. Sue did get a pentakill on Rumble the last time out, which has been highlighted in our in-between game content. And, you know, we were expecting when T1 had Guma and Keria and they were a solid duo and the lane swap meta was removed.
Oh, are they going to spot Lucid? Will at the end there, and with the health bars aiming, and Barrel don't really see an opportunity to make a play. Also, they knew, right? Because Owner took the top side crap. They had pretty good vision there, so if he's not there, spotted there, they kind of know what's going on. Is faking a back and instead going for the shove in here. Will be able to maybe deny a little bit. We'll see if Barrel gets to catch this wave, because they do really want to look for a buy. Looks like Barrel should be able to at least keep the range mains, but Keria doing a good job.
Sure. It's just the back and forth that it's like, okay, we're not on the same page. There was a ward in the middle of the lane, by the way, that spotted the Varus there very late, even after he pushed the lane in, so T1 know ahead of time that this is happening, but they want to go for the 2v2 here, actually, as Barrel coming in, and so is Lucid. Guma in a bit of trouble. He does have the cleanse and the flash, but now going to get stunned down. There's the cleanse, but you just can't get away from the Rumble, as it is a very nice gank set up here by D+. Owner does come up, gets stunned, but Barrel is in a rough spot himself, so they do trade it back eventually, right?
He's dead.
Yeah, okay. Eventually, okay, they almost give the kill over to Faker, actually, which would have been nice.
Forced to flash, and Doran's ult is on cooldown, so my guess is that 1-and-1 makes 2. I'm sure we'll get a replay of that while this was happening, which is definitely suboptimal. So they trade 1 for 1, but the grubs go to T1. There wasn't really any cross map. This should be a good angle for a dive, though. He's already aggroed on the turret, but I think it's fine.
Oh, well, they kind of just juggle the Ornn in between the turret, and Doran is going to go in onto Showmaker, and now he flashes, which you're already dead, so you're not going to get away anyway. Just wasting his flash, and now trying to flash in is Keria. That was never going to be a kill either. Maybe didn't know Barrel was there.
Fortunately, aiming won't have his flash for this fight is...
This is going in directly on the Guma, but that is pretty deep. Keria zoning with the Pop Blossom as Lucid getting incredibly low. He will be punished for going that deep, but they do trade it back onto the enemy jungler. Now trying to take down Showmaker, but it's not exactly working out. They finally take down Barrel, and now Showmaker 1v3, but Faker dashes over the rocks and aiming nearly full health. He is going to take a big chunk, but now DK immediately turning it around as they go way too deep for that one, and they get punished immediately by DK.
He gets so much free attack speed. As he gets multiple blight stacks, he's still going to be doing a lot as a counter. Turn on Barrel.
Yeah, trying to go on a Barrel here. I think Barrel is just dead. 1v3. Yeah. He's going to start clearing the wave.
Hey, he warded.
Yeah, nice.
He gets value. Good stuff.
Okay, they finally killed the
but the thing I always look towards is staying even in XP. And he's still behind, but obviously did die once due to the dive. Because XP for me is the biggest thing. When you can start giving out your ornaments, so much value is given W is used by Owner.
Yeah, damage, but isn't like the most scaly kind of guy. A little 1v1 here. Cleanse does come out. And that's fishing for Cleanse, version 2.
This time it works though. Aiming also doesn't get hit by the bouncing grenade, so nice. I think that, I forgot which patch it was exactly, but it was a patch like, I want to say 5-6 patches ago where they changed Lethality Varus, and I do think he's much more of a threat now. Is Faker just going to get his turret.
Wave in first. Still doesn't have to, as you mentioned
wall.
before. There's the wall. Lucid in next to the Rift Herald as Doran gonna get stunned up. There's the smite going to Lucid. They get it. A nice ult comes in from Doran. The follow up a little bit late, but now Lucid in a rough spot as down will go Showmaker, down will go Lucid, and now the ult goes in on Aiming, who actually does survive for quite a while. And Xiu doing a decent job of zoning away. T1 can't quite put the nail.
Puma was unthreatened there. T1 is just saying, well, you can have the dragon. I don't really care. He's going to get the full outer ring of turrets with Faker
Infernal.
picking up yet another.
Infernal Solo coming through.
Do agree. We'll see. Knowing DK, we are going to get a crazy Otacon setup as Beryl goes in.
Just baiting out the ult, you know. Just a normal day in the life for Beryl. And now we got, the big impale! Gets him over the wall as well! And that's the end of Owner. And T1, they were in a good spot, but now they're losing 2 as big damage comes out. And the flick on a Faker into the ult from Aiming. It is massive for DK, and right before the Otacon spawns.
Oh, according to Beryl's plans, I can hear Atlas yell. He's not even in low bar! As Beryl sets up a tasty bait, and guess what? They fall for it, as this should never ever hit the mark, although Lucy's gonna take it.
Don't even just throw it away! There's no chance you're stealing that as Jin. It's not gonna happen.
No salvaging. I want to hear it.
야 니코
Saying Nico.
맞을게. 야 이거 뿌리면 빠를 수 있어. 라피 폴 노플 이거 없어?
No flash. Like, it feels like initially it wasn't his idea to bait them, but he called it so well.
No. He's level 13, but it's really 14, 15 that I'm always looking towards, just making sure your teammates also get the benefit. As we do get the TP, and I think that's enough for them. 3 items. He has more levels. He's at 13.
He's level 3.
Should be looking at getting Cyrilda's next, which is going to make his damage even more threatening. And you can see Banana Brush control. They're scared to actually go in on Lucid. DK do.
Well, just throwing in a Pop Blossom just to try to survive, but he's going to die anyway. Nice little pick from DK. Going to take out the Nico, and Beryl doesn't get rooted either. Big seismic goes in! As all of a sudden, he goes in. I'm not sure about that one. Owner just avoids the impale. And it's a trade. Now, I feel like this is still good for DK, even though the end of that was rough. They did take out one of the guys that had Baron and stop the push.
He'll take it.
Now we're fighting. We're looking for Guma. He's in a bit of trouble, but he does flash away. He does an incredible amount of damage at this point in time. And sticking around is DK. They're committing.
DK?
They're committing to this one, but now the Jin is opened up. But the Jin is low. They're trying to just run at the Jin. It's not exactly working either. Okay, they do take him down. Xiu, though, going 1v2 on the top side. Eventually, he does die, but Owner trying to go 1v3. He takes out one, and the dogs are soaking up so much damage, but Showmaker just trade it back. And now, it's kind of an even fight. Doran has to frontline. The TP! Oh, Garia does come over, and that'll be the end of that. As both of them get taken down, and T1 win the fight eventually. Trying to say, we were trying to tell. Just gonna ult Aiming
They're
here.
falling for it.
And they're going pretty deep for the Varus as the ult comes in, and Aiming goes incredibly low, does get taken out, but now Owner is so deep behind enemy lines. That's the ult back on a barrel, but still does go down. But they took out Showmaker amongst the chaos, and this is a great opportunity for T1 to potentially end the game. Xiu gets taken down by Faker, and that'll be the end. A double kill as Faker does dive the turret. And now they're looking for, they don't quite have the wave, but they're clearing it, and I think the death timers at 35 minutes should be.
Once that fight came through, once Xiu ended up dying, didn't really ever feel like T1 was gonna relent.
오른 정면에서 공만 빨아줘. 나에서 볼게, 여기서 볼게. 살려. 볼게. 나 가는 중이야. 딸 보자. 고고고고. 와봐. 나 막다 있어. 와봐. 딜대. 살려. 나 죽었다. 이렇게 하면 써볼래? 초. 아, 네. 살려. 뒤에 좋아. 봐봐. 땅 끝이다. 해줘. 나 점프하면 안 돼. 시간. 끝나기 다 웨이브. 좀 멀긴 하다.
This is a lot of high value picks for T1 that have been taken away. So we'll see what we're going to see in game number 2. But look, that's the gold graph that I won.
Yeah. Barrel.
It's Barrel. It's the composition from DK basically, it tells you what it does on the it's very straightforward, right? It's a early game skirmishing and snowballing comp. It has a great late game win condition in the Gwen, but Gwen really at this point is in any point of the game win condition. And if they get to mid to late game team fights without really any substantial lead, I think they will struggle. I do think that the matchups are a lot better. Last time T1 had a neutralizing matchup in bot lane that they actually played really well, was even winning early, right? Guma and Carrier looked good. Carrier out of lane not so much, but in lane he was fine. And then in top lane you had Doran on the tank. Now you have great composition, a lot of comfort. I'm looking at the Yone though. We'll have to see how the execution is.
We'll see how he does in that mid lane. Here's game number 2.
Seen often recently, it's really been just Grasp. Here we go.
Yeah. Nice little trades back and forth, but at the end of the day, it's still Rakan, so I mean, Carrier doesn't really care about that. He can just heal up.
PTA MF is also not that fun. He's also in the area. I think you feel relatively confident in your 2v2 if you're T1. It's melee form plus... Oh, aiming. Area?
Carrier gonna take a huge amount of damage. Aiming just sidestepping out of that one. Vivero goes in on the feathers, and now Guma just walking forward into them. And he's got the most health. He is the most dangerous person, so T1 bot lane.
But is it as good as getting double scuttle? I don't know. I don't think so. We're not going for this, right? T1, we're just going to let them have it. Very good. Good call. Showmaker missing.
And will be able to hold his own. I say that as now Shiu going in with the needles. Let's see who does win the trade. As flash on in, one more auto would have done it.
His Shiu does complete his. Does not get the haunting, guys, but going to be an opportunity here for Owner down the line to try and take down this Gwen, who now is flashless. So we do have a grub for Dragon trade. Not riveting, but it sets up for an exciting mid-game, surely.
Does it? I mean, game 1, we had a lot
and unlike your predictions, this is not a bit. This is really what I believe.
Okay. We'll see how that works out for you. Shiu kind of getting ganked here. Did not expect this, and now, with no flash available, it's just an easy kill setup for T1. First blood goes over to the chase as well. It's basically perfect for them.
An OTP for Shiu. Really nice timing there from Owner.
Yeah, T1. I'm not sure what the streak is at, but I do know that T1 generally has their number. And it's coming into this one, you know, on paper, in terms of tier list.
Oh, again?
DK should be on top, but that's not the case tonight. And Shiu in a bit of trouble. A lot is going to miss onto the Gwen, but will it matter? Looks like yes, it absolutely will. Owner does get away though, and it's gonna chunk him out, and Doran just take a turret shot once again. But
oh, you'll take that though. That's grubs.
Yeah,
that's gonna be 6 grubs for DK. Thanks to Shiu surviving that one. This time, even without the flash, is able to dodge. Owner was also spotted, not getting quite caught
of the LCK, and they all have that thing in common.
This is
that they can do everything essentially. 1v1 here. Charm just come down on a faker, but still going to take a good trade.
Movements are here. Lucid is waiting in fog. Oh, he's still outside of the vision.
Wow.
That ward did get spotted, but they are. Yeah, there you go.
But
unless
this time might be the charm, but Barrel's still here, so he's just hovering forever. It was the meta. Sit around and get 1 kill. And
watch it happen.
Yeah, we do have Doran trying to greed for the turret. He will get it, and now Owner comes down. Not going to hit the ult, though. Smite onto Shiu, and we got TPs coming in from both sides, but Shiu should be the first to go down eventually. As looks like he's still going to be alive, actually. They don't get him. Shiu's just on the edge of this one. Faker wants something. As finally Owner says, okay, I'll take out the Gwen.
Oh, the resets.
So yeah, here comes the resets. Faker does try to go in, but it's a little bit too little and too late. And Lucid gets that first reset. Aiming comes on over. It's a kill for him. And Carrier as well is going to be caught up in the mess.
Once the Viego start resetting,
Oh.
get out of there!
It's you again, the target. But he's got backup, and he has mana now. So
It's the power of friendship, Veldis!
got to be careful. The whole team is surrounding their top laner,
Don't worry, we got you!
and they have the gold leads, whereas you does not. So it kind of makes sense. If you want him to be part of this game, you have to enable him to be part of the game. You got to get him assists, maybe kills, dig themselves out of the very tiny hole that they're in. Little Root comes in on aiming. He's in some trouble. If it's used for action, if it's used for action, I'm okay with it. And there he goes. And, well, he's going to create space. As now in goes Carrier, but the backs in! Wombo combo comes out from DK. They only get the chase, but he was the guy. He was the one guy who had to live. And instead, the rest of the low health members will be cleaned up here by DK. As Faker, the last remaining survivor, it's just going to be a clean 5-for-0 ace.
Off guard. They did not catch Barrel off guard.
I'll go.
So
Going.
I assume what the call there is they get some CC down him, and then Carrier will try to go in with the charm and just CC chain him, and that'll be the end of it. But even if you do that, like, unless you get onto aiming immediately, that's not quite enough as I don't know.
Barrel?
That's fine, it's Barrel.
Yeah, I guess they're baiting Guma. I don't know. It worked. Whatever that was. Guma just dying on the right side, and now follow up here from Lucid, who is 4-0-5.
All right.
I think the Chemtech Soul, I mean, they might not even get it. Aiming, nice dodge. Doesn't have his cleanse, but he will flash and get out of there. And Barrel's right there to set up for the team. Faker just half-hearted ult just to do a bit of damage. Doran trying to go in, trying to flash for the kill. And yes, he will get it. But is it worth it? Might take down Barrel as well, but Shield comes in, and Barrel will secure the kill.
Similarities between DK and KT.
Yes, absolutely not. Okay, trying to bait this fight, I guess. As Barrel goes in, he's going to catch 3 once again, and the front line just dies. I mean,
It's Hail Mary.
T1 were not really ready for that fight, it felt like. And it's just going to be an easy cleanup for them. Lucid on the Omega-fed Viego. Not much they can do against that.
I think they thought they were ready, but they were not.
Yeah.
So game 3, Veldis, we're getting it!
We're getting a game 3.
Woo!
It's actually happening.
Let's go!
And
I
Lucid,
liked game 1 more than game 2, Veldis. I have to be real honest with you.
yeah. This one started off good.
It started off with great tension building, and then there was the one scene that just took out all the tension, and now we're just like, what?
Now it's just a Marvel movie.
We thought we were going for like cool atmospheric horror. And
For sure, mental advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, we're just going all in on the Doran, who tries to flash but dies instead. And it's a 7th kill for Lucid, but they found Siwoo, and it should be a withdrawal here, but the needles are coming out, as is the miss. This Gwen is actually doing quite a lot, but does eventually. Not particularly.
That makes sense.
Hereditary was pretty good. Guma just going to get ulted here once again as he gets flipped back by the Barrel. As T1 really on their last legs here. Faker desperately trying to do a bit of damage. No double up there, but it's still a Yone that is not able to do enough. They're too far behind. The wallets are so heavy. It's just a mid inhibitor. So the game won't end here. Aiming is just trying to bait this game to end, I think. As he flashes away, now just one shot away, not able to take a Guma. But he certainly did bait the fight.
5 seconds on the Otacon buff, DK. Maybe leave?
No. TPN. All right, well, now they don't have the Otacon buff.
Oh, maybe the horror movie is that DK somehow loses this game and we're just going to be caught off guard by the twist? No.
Well, no. Just, yeah, not quite going to happen. They're just blocking everything and knowing exactly where Faker's going to come back to. See making back some of that gold that he lost earlier on. And Owner as well will be a sacrifice here on the left side for the team. As there you go, he does gain a gold lead by the end of the game. Carrier just trying to catch the wave here. And a little desperation. He knows the game is over, but he'll be able to delay just a little bit. As she was in their base, just catching the bot wave at the same time. DK having a bit of fun at the end.
And DK gonna bring us to a game number 3. It was a lot of comfort in the draft, and the game was actually quite close until it wasn't. And then from that point on, it was a beatdown. Very different from game number 1. As are we?
Yes.
Yes. Gotta crank up that shield, KD.
Yeah.
뭐야 이거? 뭐야? 뭐야 이거? 1위인데? 나 2, 3초, 2, 3초. 사람 해줄게. 야, 미니언 오그로 다 걸렸어 우리. 아 끝나겠네. 오케이. 리포 오면 끝날 거 같아. 나 텔네? 쏘고 끝날 거. 아 20초. 되지 않아? 도엔도 있는데? 하자. 영유. 한 번 더 싸워. 할만해. 연애 노플이야. 얘네 노플 노공이야. 얘네 노플 노공. 다야도 노스페 노공. 다야도 노플 노공이야. 강 이길 듯. 다야 공한 30초 정도 남을 듯. 아리 풀메오? 아리 풀메오? 확인했어. 풀메오. 확인했어. 가자. 들어가. 이플? 야! 맞췄어. 나이스.
Yeah, she's not really a tank.
Yeah.
Tanky. Oh God, yeah, that'll. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Aiming is I'm ready to say it. Aiming is our only actually good MF. Actually makes the pick looks good.
Yeah. He's very good at it. Quite obviously. He's
Yeah.
great.
Lock-in is going to be here.
Well, with Bengi behind Lucid, with the book out, I think it's going to be support Poppy. Let's see. What do we got? Final pick here.
Like Pantheon's still open, but so I'm not surprised by this. I do think playing the Pantheon into the Braum is going to feel quite rough. I like it into Lilia though, having a guaranteed way to set up. And yeah, one of my favorite moments of the open mics is Lucid being like, I don't know, I've never really played Pantheon, and Beryl telling him, just pick it or you should retire. And it was like, well, I'll lock it in.
Got him.
And then he had a great game. But
Yeah.
2v2, absolutely disgusting here. DK is going to rely on that. If this composition falls behind against the 1T1, it doesn't do anything. And even then, the Braum is going to have a ton of value. And there is a saying.
Not really sure what they're going to do because...
Nothing,
I think they just lose. Okay, well, we're ready. Let's hop to the roof for game number 3. They're all very low range.
Very true.
You know, if they're winning a fight and Guma's on the chase, I feel like this Lucian gets huge value. But if he is behind and he's getting targeted and, K drafted a similar comp, like no range.
This is way better.
If we lose early, we just lose the game.
Yeah, okay, but I feel like in this scenario, this one makes a lot more sense to me than that one did. Blind casting is not.
That one did not make any sense, so I'm glad that this one makes a little bit more sense than that. As long as you're above 0, it's not very hard to do that. Because that one made 0 sense.
So this one, this is also a cohesive comp.
Yeah.
Like, it's all in, but so is T1's. T1 have a little bit more ways back into the game. Let Kalista through.
All right, no stun comes through.
Just let Kalista through, pick Ash Poppy.
Yeah. Inspiration from Bros drafting with the Lucian Braum here in game 3.
When is the world's bro skin for Braum coming? It's just Braum.
Braum? B-R-O-U-M.
Yes.
Braum. Stand behind Braum. Making Showmaker. I don't think this is an actual gank, but he is pushing him out. Just bring Faker into more action after buying 2 ruby crystals.
It's more of a figurative gank.
Yeah, it's not literal.
It's the concept of the gank, Velvet.
Yeah, I take everything very literally.
Okay. The laning phases for them have been rather muted.
Well, they're not going to commit to it. Arrow also just going to carry us.
Yeah.
This is like the Wolf level of lead. As we got an Arrow just going to flash it, and now the Braum is in so much trouble as he's stunned 100 to 0. I mean, there was nothing he could do. Faker had to flash it, though, after a gank here from DK as they maneuver up and they create their own destiny.
They do. Oh, Guma! He doesn't know! Guma! Oh, he's fine. Okay. Beryl is gonna... I already thought Beryl. What lead? Where on the skill do we...
Oh, the Arrow's insane! Aiming Zash! I should not have called for the Zeri when he can play Ashe like this. And he is the one setting up.
Does obviously use a lot of burst as...
That was sick, right? Bussin', right? If I try to translate like Tucson.
Yeah. I don't think anyone can. I think she stands alone. Oh,
It's just you never expected.
Owner.
Very fast, but you can't get away from that amount of CC. Knocked into the wall, but Carrier comes on over, helping him out of it. He's holding the door, and now they've gone very deep for this one. We got the Dominus, the buff level 11 one, taking away the damage. And there goes Shivu, who just got baited into this one by his team. And now Beryl, well, he's dead. The only question is who's going to get the kill. As he's very fast, but Lilia's faster. And eventually, yeah, the bowling ball hits him in the face. That's a nice kill for Owner. Another arrow. No way. No, 3 for 3. And this time, doesn't look like Showmaker's going to be able to kill him.
We have a lot of good souls still on the table. This Dragon, I do think, with how the positioning from T1 is going to go over. Because it looks like Aiming is setting up a bait. Showmaker is in the area with Flash. Is going to fall for it.
I mean, Aiming might die anyway. Yeah, we don't have any feats of warfare yet, so these turrets, that's the first turret going over to T1. They're getting one step closer, and they get the objective as well, so they will be able to pick up the feats. As the arrow's so close again. Still going to go for it here is Beryl, but that is a victor. And Beryl gonna get stunned up here anyway.
The Herald will ensure that it will. DK is rapidly losing control of the map.
Yep, Perry gonna put this one into the turrets, and he's gonna go for a little drive, looking for that bottom turret, which is pretty low. I think he's got it with this driving so far.
That's one.
All right, he's able to make the turn. There you go. Big hit in the bottom lane as well, and now Siu half health. He's got to back away. Arrow gonna miss Doran here, so Aiming very good at hitting the long range ones, but the short range right in front of you ones, not as good. Suffering at a substantial deficit.
TP!
Oh, TP. They gotta make something happen is what I was about to say. They gotta make plays, otherwise they just lose, and they will be able to find Faker here with a Pantheon ultimate and a TP. And there you go.
See the Dragon, or as I think they can just say, hey, it's gone, let's leave it be. Looks like that's the call.
I mean, I guess now with the Baron available, you can try to use it. So not a bad timing, I suppose. But it's still an objective that you're probably just going to get baited into and die on instead. So got to be very careful.
2 items done for the entirety of Summoner's Rift, with exception of Beryl. How many control wards have you brought? You don't have an item yet.
Yeah, there's no item. It's 25 minutes into the game.
I've not been keeping track, but
where's the item?
Oh, that's really aggressively trying to look for fights before that is there. And you can feel this game balancing. Just one fight for DK wouldn't be enough, but Barrow might have to flash.
I mean, he just walks away. Doran, though, he is behind enemy lines. He wants to make the fight happen, and I mean, they're trying to engage on a Renekton that is actually quite tanky, but now the stolen Renekton ultimate Showmaker going to show us who the real Renekton is.
And it's the ult from Guma and Doran, and T1's response is, oh, I think they made the read that DK would go for Dragon. DK, they're not seeing this coming at all.
He's just going to face check the brush. Lucius is dead. And that's the jungler of DK off the map now. Yeah, now you can do Otacon. Now it's pretty safe.
They're going to do Nash.
Yeah, they can do Nash, actually. That's much better. And
yeah, you saw Aiming was trying to play. She was going to look for a back and TP in. I don't know if they have the time. They need to try and stop this, though. And they do have a lot of AoE damage.
I mean, Showmaker might just send it in with the Renekton ultimate, or they're just going to give it away.
Oh,
they just give it up.
I think you have to send it there. You might lose the game off of it, but I don't think you can just give them Baron and Otacon.
Well, you can just lose the game off of not doing anything as well. And I do have news for you, though. Beryl did, in fact, pick up his first item a minute ago.
Yeah, he got that McKills. I saw that.
Yeah.
Would have been good if he had that when Lucy died. They're ever getting it back. So now their game plan, I think, just becomes stall indefinitely and hope that the item lead at some point isn't that relevant anymore. It's kind of what I'm saying.
I mean, you need like another 15 minutes for that.
I know.
I don't know if that's going to happen in this game. T1 shouldn't let it happen. And now the engage brawl actually not bad. Coming on in, nice amount of poke damage onto all the DK members. They have to back off the turret, and Owner's looking for more. Still got a minute on the Otacon buff, by the way.
And Baron.
And Baron. They actually synced it up very nicely. And there's no reason for them to ever back away. And even if they get a withdrawal, like, who cares? It's 200 gold. just TP back in. So they're taking bot lane, they're taking mid lane, and DK eventually, we've said this, eventually, at some point, T1 are in an unlosable position.
Okay, I wouldn't say that.
I'm going to say that.
Oh, I don't know about that, bro.
All right, Renekton ultimate stolen. He's going to look for the angle. They will fight eventually, I believe. Showmaker used it. He's not generating rage, so I don't know why. Okay, they're going to knock away the Brawl, and they find the angle here on the front line, and it's actually Faker who goes down first, but Doran in the back line picking away onto everyone. He gets taken out as well. It's 5v3, and Xiu gets the resets. It was an unlosable Chronicler. There was an angle. They take 3 of them down. Showmaker trying to go in onto Owner. And will have it as the max range on the chains, and Kerry is killing a turret in the base. He'll just execute to the fountain. The didn't know I was this good at caster cursing, but I have set it up perfectly to get a game on our hands.
You're a great caster,
I
Valdez.
can see it.
This is all we needed. It's here. It's still a free kick gold lead, but now there's all of a sudden, but one lost fight for DK and the game is over.
I feel like the entire tone of the game as well is shifted. T1 now know that with that
blown up in seconds. Good vision here is barrel.
He's going backwards at least, and he's just dead! Explodes into a flurry of infernal cinders, and now Lucid tries to follow up on it and might just die for the sins of Barrel. And now, T1 5v3, looking for Showmaker, and it should be enough as down he goes. The shutdown comes through, and DK, they gave us hope. We had a game for about 3 minutes, and then it wasn't a game again.
Unlosable, Valdez! You said it yourself! And it starts with Barrel and it ends with Barrel. Tries to look for a play, gets caught. The wave clear is decent. Ult is there for Shield, but I don't think they can do this.
It doesn't look very likely as Shield's getting bursted. He does get an insane amount of health back, but eventually it's just too much. The arrow, though, in the face. That's 2 kills! No! Barrel respawns! The game isn't over, guys!
They have to.
20 seconds.
They have to try.
Doran doesn't have
and
TP.
It leads into Infernal Soul.
Well, you know, I thought I was a strong caster cursor, but you are on a different level, sir.
Caster curses aren't real!
I can't believe I even gave myself credit when I'm sitting next to the god himself. The hands, who's ready? The ult, it's gonna hit Faker away, and now the flank comes through for Xiu, but they don't commit to the fight.
Oh, that's the ult gone from Barrel, that's big. They're gonna try and burst it down. They're gonna try and flip. Doran is spotted.
I don't know if this is gonna work for DK. As now Barrel's going in, and the streak is not low enough. It's not low enough. They want to turn on the Doran now. It's getting real messy. It's getting incredibly messy. Doran's gonna go down, but so does the Drake to the side of T1. Lucid stays alive though. It's a 5v4, and Xiu, he wants to make this fight hit. Xiu does a lot, but he holds up the door, and now a massive flame from Owner onto nearly everybody. Isn't enough damage? It's the question. Faker on the right side on the Victor. He might recreate the Chovy moment. Look at the base. Oh, the base is in shambles as well. Guma and Faker against aiming.
Oh, they don't have TP. And oh, he still has Baron. He still has Baron.
Still has Baron. It's still alive.
Can they push? It's 30 seconds. It's so, I don't think they can.
No.
Make the right call. Ash can carry harder. And which team can enable their player to play better? Because Guma, yeah, he's also sitting at 6 items. His burst is great, but the sustained damage just doesn't compare. The arrow?
The arrow. And that's a big one. TP coming in. Oh, they got a Pantheon as well. And as Zonus comes in, can they get there in time to defend him is the question. And now aiming, he's getting slapped. And he's taken out. Down goes aiming, the one guy who could get it done for DK. And they're trying to zone here for Xiu. He has incredible amounts of healing, but it's not enough against T1. They get the clean ace, and they will end game 3 in their favor.
And after all of that, Doran finds aiming and cuts him down.
Chops down the aiming tree. And there it is. T1 will take the 2-1 victory over DK tonight. Only
야, 미드야 지금. 봐줘.
They're just like,
괜찮거든?
look at Faker,
Watch,
go
watch
to him.
Doran.
일시. 네, 앞내부터.
It's on a complete off angle. Guma does the forward. You have Owner throwing down a bowling ball.
Just saying, hit the front, you know? They had to burst down those two.
내가 공으로 이렇게 앞뒤를 날려.
Guma's saying something about his ult. Like, I hit him with the ult. And that he did. He's very happy with the Lucian performance, and I think, you know, deservedly. He wasn't the main character in this one, but he did a good job. Did a good job on the Lucian.
He redeemed himself. I think that,
Yeah.
that dash, and obviously in terms of damage numbers, no shocker in a game this long, AD carries are going to pull ahead.
Yeah.
Oh,
There was a roller coaster from like that 30-minute mark to it was like 32 minutes where we saw a huge drop off and then finally to the end.
what a game, Valdez. What a game. My God.
T1 just makes some great games against great teams. They got very close against Gen G, lost game 3. Got very close against DK, won game 3.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by owner of T1.
현재 D 플러스 기아 3위에 위치하고 있거든요. 상대로 승리하신 소감.
So D plus Kia is currently at third place. You have defeated them. How do you feel?
상위권 팀을 잡으면은 또 분위기도 올라가고.
You know, we were
더 나아갈 수 있을
in a place where we felt like we were a little stuck, but
좋은 것 같습니다.
coming in prepared and being able to defeat such a strong team makes me very, very happy. And D plus Kia had such a high momentum, and we got to see lots of intense team fights among truly high-level players. So, what did you watch out for the most? I believe that D plus Kia does move around Beryl, so I think we really try to focus on Beryl's movements,
챔피언을 조금 많이 공략했던 것 같습니다.
and we actually tried to focus down the enemy jungle and mid's champions. And I believe that that was quite effective in terms of our strategy today. And currently, Nefiri is considered tier 0, and she was open in game 1, so what crossed your mind back then?
목적이었는데
You know, I think our initial goal was to give the Nefiri away, but I believe that we saw a really good angle to play her based on how the draft was going, so we ended up picking her pretty quickly. So with the Nefiri in game 1, you showed her true potential, so can you teach us how to have a fun game with her? You know, I'm not a perfect Nefiri player, but in the end, I think your team really has to set up for your Nefiri, so your team has to do really well. So in the end, you really need a lot of luck. You got a high roll with your good teammates. And in game 3, you got prio in all lanes, and T1's draft was rated pretty highly. And with how quickly you guys locked Victor in and took Lilia, can you walk us through this decision? I think we definitely prioritized Victor, so we didn't hesitate in picking the Victor. But because for the jungle, I don't think we had a lot of options, but I think Lilia was really the most optimized choice that we had. And the 4-man sweep with Lilia. Let's take a look at this replay. Can you walk us through what happened here? You know, at first, we thought that we had the edge here. But, you know, Doran ended up dying, and then it looked a little flip-floppity. So I was just trying to make sure that, you know, we don't get caught off. So in the end, I think I just had to go in, and I knew that I have to make a play here. So how did you feel when you hit the 4-man ult? You know, I didn't have a ward or anything like that, so I had to predict the ult and went in without fearing anything, and it worked out, and I'm really glad and relieved that it worked.
좀 봐달라고 해가지고 계속 봐줄게 하면서
You know,
들어왔던 그런 상황이었던 것 같습니다.
I did mention to my teammates to really look into this team fight. I was just wanting for them to sort of follow up with my movement. And now, your remaining opponents are OK Savings and Brian and DN Freaks. What are your goals? For the rest of round 1, considering how we didn't have a much of a positive result overall, I hope that we can prepare well to finish it up very strong as possible. And that's the end of the interview with Owner, and back to the space. Thank you.